I would make sure that all local parks were cleaned up and could be used for activities. I would get some to schools in Duval so they could have brand new books, computers, and supplies. I would make sure that kids felt safe and that the school was also fixed up, especially the bathroom. I will also donate money to communities and schools so that all students in Jacksonville can have a fun after-school program like us. Lastly, I would probably make sure every school had a bomb snack time besides lunch because we all want the good snacks and drinks and team up.
Good afternoon, judges. My name is Shamari Brown, and I am an 8th grader here at Lakeshore Middle School. I am currently in the Team Up program where I cheer and dance during the program after school. I'm thankful for this opportunity to give a speech in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. MLK Jr. is one of my favorite leaders in the world. He stood for equality, peace, and justice for all against racism. Nowadays, his message means so much because we have a lot of hatred in this country, and I feel that if people followed his lead to love and respect each other, then everything will run smoothly. In Team Up, we talk about equality often, and our teachers and staff help us understand that with the Big Five. The one I know most is teamwork and collaboration. We preach that the most because we can't all get along without teamwork. As a cheerleader and co-captain, I respect this the most because our cheerleaders reflect our coaches and captains. So when we captains mess up, the team messes up. When captains miss practice, then everyone feels they don't have to show up. When you collab with the team, everybody works as one. Which brings me to my point of the speech. The topic of this oratorical is, if you had $1 million, how would you contribute or give back to the community? To be perfectly honest, I think $1 million is not enough, especially when it comes to helping the Black community in the world we live in right now. However, I still have a brilliant idea on how to properly use these $1 million. My plan to better my community or give back is to use $1 million to plant teen-oriented community centers on each side of town in Jacksonville, Florida that are like Team Up. Team Up gives a lot of activities for kids in schools such as cheer, dance, sports, and art, and mentorship. However, it's not open on the weekends. Everything that Team Up offers can't be given on Saturdays, Sundays, and school breaks. The program will spread out in 2 community centers, north, south, east, and west. Each facility will have an indoor play area where you could play football, soccer, baseball, and basketball. These activities will be played just for fun as well help us improve our athletic skills when we go back to school for our school sports. On the other side of the center, there will be stuff for artistic freedom. There can be art classes, music theory classes, cosmetology, and media rooms meant for games and program design. Mr. Seymour also mentioned that his college, Edward Waters University, also known as EWU, has developed a new activity center that explains everything that I'm talking about in this speech. However, it's not really open to the public, just students on campus. Even though I think $1 million isn't enough to spread throughout 6 different communities, I can easily think of one place where it's needed the most, the west side of Jacksonville. To be honest, it's not a lot to do on this side of town because all the fun stuff is in the Orange Park area, especially the Orange Park Mall. But everyone doesn't have the money or transportation to go to the mall, so a huge community center with all the ideas I came up with will truly help. It's for the boys and girls that like to dance to all types of musical styles. It's for the boys and girls who want to learn how to become manicurists, barbers, and hairstylists. It's for the boys and girls who want to make a living becoming gamers and learning to code so they can have their own apps. More than anything, these centers will help a lot of students stay off the streets and stay in school, but not without the proper guidance from teachers. Teachers are a huge influence on how we view school. In my case, teachers seem to misunderstand how we view the world, and it leads to discrimination and feeling of loneliness because students come from troubled homes, so adults already are seen as the enemy. So teachers who can't grasp the idea of relating to students who end up being unrelatable, these centers can not only mentor students, but help adults manage relationships with students. Another issue that can help is transportation. Most students struggle to come after school for Team Up because they either must get picked up early or go straight home. Shuttle buses for the weekend programs will pick up students from all over the county so more students can enjoy the programs outside of regular school week. My community centers will ultimately train kids how to properly manage your own money, learn basic home economics, and deal with anxiety and suicide prevention. My $1 million center could also just be a safe place for troubled teenagers to rest their head or get a proper meal. We never know what's going on with our friends outside of school, and places like my community center could easily help us understand one another. Just like one of Dr. King's dreams, we cannot walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. Again, I'm Shamari Brown. I'm in 8th grade. I attend Lakeshore Middle School where I cheer and participate in Team Up, and this is my MLK Junior Oratorical speech on if I had $1 million, how it would benefit my community or give back. Thank you all and have a nice day. Period.
If you have $1 million, what would you do? Would you invest it in things that you can get more money back, or invest it on yourself and family? Or would you be generous enough to donate to charity companies to help those which are truly in need? Maybe save it for later urgencies. Or try to fix the world's wrongs. This is what I would do if I had $1 million. For what I have in mind, the $1 million will not suffice. Investing in things that has high rate of income would be the best option. Let's say theoretically the investment was successful in under 4 years. I would create a company that could create energy from CO2. We already have plenty of it in our atmosphere, so that won't be a problem. With the money I earn, I could create a shelter for people that are having a hard time carrying day to day, and creating a hospital affordable for everyone. In today's world, we have many challenges, and those challenges are things that could kill you under a second, such as diseases. So, creating a research organization to find cure for diseases and others. The world has changed over the last few centuries. We have done good and bad, mostly bad. And the worst thing we have done yet is creating money. With money, we have killed many countless animals, killed people for money, kidnapped people, and destroyed forests for no reason. Destroy our atmosphere with factories just to earn money, and which we have created and could be so easily be destroyed. If the world abandons money, we could save many lives. Since it can bring people to do unimaginable things, maybe for the next few generations we should try to fix this problem, and maybe the world will change. Within this possibility, this gives hope. And hope is what the world needs. Hope in action changes things. We can't just wish for something and for it to happen. That's what. So the world needs stability, and money only gives problem. Thank you for your time.
Have you ever wanted to change the community if you had money? Well, how would you help? If I had the money to help the community, I would help the homeless families, sponsor events, and lastly, do community service. First and foremost, if I had funding, I would help the homeless families. It doesn't make any sense about all the homeless families all the homeless people downtown in Jacksonville. If I had the funding, I would try to get people to build shelters for the homeless families downtown in Jacksonville. There are many homeless families that is on the streets with no jobs, money, or anything to survive off of. In the shelter, there will be food, beds, and other people trying to help families get on their feet. If I'm not able to do a shelter, I will start or support a food drive. I will go to different stores, buy canned food or regular food, and some days out of the week I may cook for the homeless. Another thing I would do for the community is, if I had the funding, is to sponsor an event. Some donation events that I can use is making t-shirts. I will sell them for $15 a piece, and I will send the money to a charity to help support whatever they're trying to support. I can send it to an animal charity, a long-term risk one, or a charity that has special needs that's trying to support kids that isn't able to pay for their treatments. Last year, my school did a donation to Wilson's Children's Hospital, selling t-shirts and socks and other items for the hospital. We made enough money to be able to help children. Lastly, if I had the funding, I could get some people together in my community to do community service. Maybe on the weekends, I could get some people around the community to clean up the streets that has a lot of trash. It don't make any sense how dirty our community looks because it's dirty. People, we must make it look presentable to our new people. For example, the give new coats to kids in need. We can buy different coats for kids and give them out. We can also do a blood drive for the people that need new blood or is low on blood. I can do a neighborhood watch group that can get people around the community to help. I would create a community newsletter about the coats for kids, so people can donate old coats and provide for kids. Also, I could buy a truck for the blood service and make a poster for a watch group so we can make sure no crimes is being committed. To conclude, if I had funding, I would better fix the community in these ways, because some people don't have the same resources as people that are more fortunate. People that are less fortunate struggle more than people that are fortunate enough to provide for themselves.
Kamaya, wake up. It's time to get up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Green, but I had the best dream ever. I dreamt that I had $1 million. And at first I started to think about all the things I can do with that money, like buy a new cell phone, new shoes, or even some cool stuff for my family. But then I thought about it. $1 million can be life-changing. I can change my community with $1 million. How can I change my community, you ask? Did you know that Jacksonville's homeless population has dropped over the past 10 years, but it's still extremely high? According to the 2021 census, the numbers have dropped over the years, but we still have thousands of men and women and even children living on the streets of Jacksonville. These people must worry about food and shelter every minute of the day. Even though the numbers have dropped over the years, there is still so much work to be done in that area. With $1 million, I can build a state-of-the-art housing complex that will house all the homeless people in Jacksonville. The complex will provide medical service and provide mental health resources for these individuals as well. My facility will be equipped with a job training center that will prepare individuals to find employment through skill development.
That is such a great idea. It's time for recess.
Recess? Ugh, that is another thing I would do with my money. Children need a quality park where they can play safely. If I had $1 million, children would never have to be bored inside the house anymore. They would be able to go to the park, they could ride bikes, roller skate with their friends, and even have picnics. There will be basketball, volleyball, and even a tennis park. I will build a water park area for those sizzling summer days when children just like myself just need to stay cool. Of course, because I have $1 million, I can afford security so parents will feel comfortable sending their kids there. What would a park be without food? And lots of it. There will be food trucks just there, waiting to please children with chicken, burgers, and fries. How delicious!
It's time to go back in. My back hurts.
Thanks for that suggestion. Yes, with my $1 million, I can heal your aching back even though there have been so many advances in medicine. It takes money to fund many of the research and trials that I need to ensure that we have a good quality of health. I will provide money for research to fight childhood cancers. According to the Center for Disease Control, there are millions of children living with some form of cancer. That's terrible. With my $1 million, I will continue to fund research to combat childhood cancers. I just believe that all children should have a chance of a normal life and not have to suffer and live with this horrible disease. Why? Because I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. So yes, if I had $1 million, I would donate all of it to my community to ensure I help with the homelessness we have here, provide somewhere safe and fun for children to play, and find ways to get rid of childhood cancers. Why? Because with $1 million, I can truly impact our future.
Good afternoon. My name is Macy Glenn. I'm in the 5th grade, an active participant in the Communities in Schools of Jacksonville after-school program TEAMA at Southside Estates Elementary. I'm very appreciative to have the opportunity to address the topic. If you had $1 million, how would you better your community or give back? If I had $1 million, I'll first begin by investing and saving some of the money. $1 million sounds like a lot of money, and it is. But if it's going to be used to make a sustainable difference, you must figure out how to make it work for you long term. My research shows that in 1 year at today's rate, $1 million, if placed in a 1% high yield account or government bond, will earn you $10,000 in interest. If I invested the $1 million in a stock market, it can earn $96,352 in interest. If I invested the $1 million in a mutual fund, it would earn $47,804 in interest. And finally, if I place the $1 million in a normal savings account, it will earn $600 in interest. Now, a wise investment will make the money grow and go further. But I must remember that investing in the stock market is an up and down situation. Investing requires patience. The goal here is to use the interest from the $1 million to finance the various projects that will assist my community. My interest is to help those less fortunate than I, to assist families with children to have enough food to feed the family, to assist families in paying hospital bills to ensure that sick children with cancer or RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, and to support agencies that work with foster care kids, addressing the area of therapy so they can continue to get a great education and be successful in life. I look forward to holding on to this dream, to make this a reality in my life. Thank you for allowing me to share what I would do with $1 million.
Hello, my name is Talia Herndon, and I'm a safety patrol here at Woodland Acres Elementary. I'm in the 5th grade. If you had $1 million, how would you better your community or give back? Hello, my name is Talia Herndon, and I'm a safety patrol here at Woodland Acres Elementary. I'm in the 5th grade. If you had $1 million, how would you better your community or give back? If I had $1 million, I would use it to better my community. I would start a nonprofit to help with homelessness. I would use my money to start a company here in Jacksonville to supply our homeless men, women, and children with a disposable bed made from cardboard and a place to sleep. The disposable bed would help with litter and would be an easy to clean up and most importantly, eco-friendly. When I am with my mom, we go ride through downtown. I see homeless men, women, and children. My mom has always taught me not to judge because anyone can be in their shoes. Homelessness is not a new issue. It has existed for many years, and the reality of homeless people is often being ignored. For families who are currently suffering homelessness, there are very few options for housing when it comes to having somewhere safe to sleep or something to sleep on. That's why I want to turn one of our old schools that has been closed into a faculty that will have women and kids that need a safe place to stay with eco-friendly bedding. So this is the homeless disposable bed. It is eco-friendly. This is the pillow that they will sleep on. This is the bed, and if they were done with it, then they could close it and put it in recycling. I think it is a good way to help homeless people who have nowhere to sleep or sleep on the hard ground. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Albor. I'm in the 5th grade and I go to St. Tillis Elementary. This is what I would do if I had $1 million. If I had $1 million, there are a lot of things I would do. But I would specifically start my own homeless shelter. I wouldn't even think of it as a homeless shelter. I would think of it as a less luxurious hotel. The first thing I would do is make sure there is plenty of food, enough to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I would make sure that they have rooms to stay in, and I would give them a family limit of 5. Exceptions will be made if a family a little bit over 5 needs a home. If a family in my hotel needs or is looking for a job, I would try my hardest to employ them. I would even try to provide them with nice clothes to go to an interview in. I would try to get them into the best job that I have to offer. I would get to know all the people in my building, and I would try to help them in every possible way that I can. I would name my building JHSH, Jacqueline's Homeless Shelter Hotel. I would even make a nursery for the children in my building. The nursery would also be free. I would also make sure my employees are nice to the people and families in my building, and I would make sure they wouldn't judge them. I would make sure they provide them in every way that they need. I would pray that my company would be shut down within 5 years because my company would have helped so much that my community has no more people without a home. This is what it would look like if my building was real. The nursery would be like in this area over here, and the playground for the children in my building is right here.
Good afternoon. My name is Rashay Maddox, and I bring you greetings from Pinedale Elementary School, home of the Panthers. Today's question is, what will I do and a great idea.
If you had $1 million, how would you better your community or give back? Hello, panel. I really need for each of you to pay close attention to what I'm about to say to you. My name is Zoyana Perry. I am in the 5th grade. I am a student at Lone Branch Elementary School. I am going to talk about what I would do to better my community on the east side of Jacksonville. Currently, there has been violence occurring on this side. A teenager being shot in a drive-by, a 10-year-old boy being hit by a car while he was riding his bicycle, and someone getting shot at an apartment complex on Berdea Street. This is my reality and my friends as well. The east side was not always this way. This side of Jacksonville was known for thriving black-owned businesses. In 1887, 3 side-by-side communities, which were joined by the city of Jacksonville, formed East Side Jacksonville, Oakland, and Fairfield. I needed to find out where I really am growing up, so I did some research and I just want to paint a picture of what it was. The East Side is the only cohesive black neighborhood still existing since the 19th century. You may ask yourself, how is this significant? Where is this story leading us? If I am to change my neighborhood, I need to understand the culture of the area back then. According to records, the East Side was once an attractive location. There were sawmills, ports, industrial workers, not to mention highly important people. Some of the famous people on the East Side were Asa Philip Randolph, Zora Neale Hurston, Sally B. Mathis, James Weldon Johnson, and Boulevard Hayes, just to name a few. The East Side became unraveled when a race riot broke out in 1969. It was then that the East Side began to decline. It all began when a white truck driver went into a store. While he was inside, a black man named Buck Riley was accused of stealing out of his truck. The white driver came out of the store waving a gun and he shot at Mr. Riley. The tensions were still high from a previous riot 10 years earlier known as Act Saturday. The truck driver began shooting at children and bystanders trying to shoot Mr. Riley, which he did. It was said that there were 300 people in the street and everyone started fighting. The people began burning stores, turning over trucks, and firing gunshots. It was so bad that the buildings were boarded up and the East Side began to decline. In 2001, 32 years after the riot, the City of Jacksonville Planning and Development Department conducted a study. The report revealed that it was in a state of decline for years with houses that were falling apart. The conditions were so bad the study stated the quality of life was declining. How could this happen to such a community that was so popular in the past? When I look around the area as I ride the school bus into school, I wonder what can I do? This area is not safe for the adults or children. Last year, a man was found dead 2 houses down from the school. There was no one really talking about it because sadly to say it is the norm. But I am not disheartened because agencies and developers are coming to the East Side to revitalize it. $1 million to help my community will need to be planned. The reason is because everything is escalated in price. I will begin with the senior citizens facility on Buffalo Avenue. I will donate a van so they can pick the seniors up from home and take them back. I will hire an artist to paint a mural on the inside and outside to make the center more inviting. I will also buy arts and crafts for the seniors and provide them money for prizes when they play games. I will also make sure they have some carpet on the floor with nice furniture and a big screen television. I know of children in my school that are homeless and some must live in hotels. I'll purchase all the houses that are unoccupied and renovate them. I will bring work to the area for men and women that want to work but can't find anything. I will make sure they have transportation to get to the work. I will also pay for the parent to go to a school and get a trade so they can take care of the children and buy food. I will make sure that every house has a nice yard and playground equipment for the children. There are no sidewalks in the neighborhood streets, so the kids must walk in the road. I will petition the city for sidewalks and I will pay for their cement. I'll also make sure the schools in the area have new laptops. I will buy school supplies and stock the schools so the children will be able to learn. I will give the school new books each month so the kindergarten children can learn to read. There are not many stores in this area, so I will build a grocery store, clothing store, and pharmacy. I will also contract with Lyft so people without cars can get to stores and back. I will also have some healthy food chains come in and hire the teenagers that can work. When people have jobs, they feel whole. I know how hard it is for some people to cope and they want to work, but they must leave the area. It can be hard for a single parent. I will also talk with some of the businesses in the area about getting an urgent care. The hospital is so far away, but if there were an urgent care that was open 24 hours a day, this can help parents when their children or themselves needed medical care.
The last thing I would do is make sure all the playgrounds are safe. I would enclose all the parks with walls and a dome-like roof. That way the children would not need to play in the street or worry with people shooting. I will hire a security guard company to be at the play area when it is open. I'll fix up the Kennedy Center to make it more attractive. The playground will have glass on some parts of the roof so the kids can see the sun. While I must draw near to a close, I will also help the churches because if there's no one to teach us, how can we grow to be good citizens? It would be great to have the east side back the way it was before it was destroyed. Thank you for your attention.
Me, Faith Mitchell, a millionaire, I knew all along. Even when I was 11 years old in the 5th grade in Andrew Robinson team up, we used to always repeat, I love myself and who I am, who I can be, and the difference I can make in this world. I have it. I know I have it, and I won't let anyone tell me differently. I am a successful hairstylist and a millionaire, and I would like to donate $1 million to my community. I would like to pay for a city cleanup crew, give to the homeless or anyone in need, and give back to my family. First, I definitely will use $250,000 to hire a city cleanup team to come clean because gas station programs and schools have a lot of trash. Birds get caught in trash too, and I really don't like that. Also, the pool grounds have chip bags and bottles. The pool is a fun place for students to go over the summer. Who wants to see trash? Not me. I would like my team to help keep schools clean as well. Janitors need help too. In addition, I will give $250,000 to the homeless or anyone in need. People are going through a lot of things right now. They have kids that need things and gas and everything else is going up. I just want to help everyone I can to have an easier life. Lastly, I will give $500,000 to my family because they have given me so much over the years. So why wouldn't I do the same thing? If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have ever been here or be a successful millionaire. To sum it all up, $1 million is a lot of money, but I can afford it. I may keep some of my millions, but I would never keep it all for myself. Helping my community, people in need, and my family are very important to me. So today, in front of all of you, I want to officially sign my donation check and hope that this helps in a big way. Thank you.
Greetings, I am Bryce Hosendorf and I'm in the 5th grade. Today I want to speak on change I have in mind. What can I change with $1 million and how would I improve my community? That's a good question to ask a kid. One reason is to build homeless shelters. There are a lot of empty spaces around Jacksonville. What can I do to change that? I can build homeless shelters that can be used to put their people and their families under a roof. It will be set up where there is no cost and they can feel at home. In 2016, there were 33,000 homeless people, and 6 years later, there are 38,000 homeless people. My other reason is to invest in food bags to feed families. What can I change? What can I do to change that? Currently, families are losing their jobs and have no money to pay for food. How can people go so many days without eating food? Those issues are not just in Jacksonville, they are all around the world. Every day I see a homeless person lying on the sidewalk or going through the trash can. In 2012, 3,500 people needed food, and now 2.5 million people needed more food than before. In California in 2022, people were homeless between the homeless shelter, the veterans and the young adult. This motivates me to invest in building more homeless shelters. This pandemic is affecting families and my community. It's time to change community for the best. If I had $1 million, this is what I would do with it. With $1 million, and how would I improve my community? Thank you for listening again, and I am Bryce Holdsworth.
$1 million. $1 million. Wow. What would you do if you had that kind of money? Well, some people might spend it on the latest PlayStation game or electronics, or maybe spend it on the latest Jordans. Well, that may be cool for them, but I think it's a little selfish. Let me introduce myself. I'm the future Dr. Jordan J. Richardson, and if I were blessed with $1 million, I would use this money to help those in my community, such as families, schools, and the greatest asset in our community, our youth. Because of COVID, life as we know it has changed. Some have lost jobs, and some families have even lost their homes. Some of them have even had to move to homeless shelters. With some of the money, I could invest in affordable housing so those families can get on their feet. Or perhaps start a food pantry, provide clothes, or even transportation so that those families can find ways to get around and eventually find new jobs. 1 John 3:17 says, "But if someone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need, but refuses to help, how can the love of God dwell in a person like that?" If I was blessed with $1 million, I could help schools in our community so that students like myself can have access to technology that will help us build skills that will prepare us for future success. With this money, I could also donate to programs in schools such as TEMA that offer academics, but also enrichment activities such as music, art, and sports. Research shows that music and the arts inspire children to excel in and out of the classroom. It helps them stay in school, increases motivation, improves attitudes and attendance, and even helps them get better grades. Think about it. If students become better in reading, math, and science, then we will have future scientists, engineers, nurses, doctors, lawyers, and even teachers who can also give back to our community for generations to come. Sports also keep students more involved in school. These activities help students become leaders on and off the field and help to keep students out of trouble and safe from violence or harm if they were out in the streets. Another way I can help the youth in our community is by donating to programs that will help us learn about money, business, and finances. For some youth, they don't think about spending money, but we have to be smarter than that. Our future depends on it. We should think about saving, investing, and learning how to become entrepreneurs. Programs that teach us about financial literacy and business will help us learn how to open our own businesses and also save and grow our money so that we can reinvest in our own community someday. So bottom line, we've got to do better. The youth in my community do not have as many advantages as those in more affluent communities and are disadvantaged for many reasons. But these disadvantages cannot be used as an excuse why we can't be successful in life. We still deserve to reach our full potential someday. I believe that the future of our world is in the hands of our youth. We must be equipped with the skills, resilience, and self-confidence to be the future leaders in our community. Using the $1 million to invest in these programs will help students do just that. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. We must be everything they fought for us to be. I want to continue that dream and leave this world better for future generations to come. As the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. So I choose to bless others because God has truly blessed me. Thank you.